So I'm laughing because I just did an intro to the video, which you might have to wait until the Christmas gaff reel to see. But I had this grand idea of how I was going to introduce it, and then as I'm going, my brain kicks in and says something slightly different. And we won't be using that today. Anyway, this is a channel dedicated to building models. And we don't do politics on this channel. But I'm very pleased to say that I do politics. In fact, I have a degree in politics. And I'm very proud of my 12-year-old daughter who was playing a game online while talking to some of her friends, also online, not sat in a room like we did back in the 80s. And she goes, "Are you stupid?" Right, she's 12, she needs to perhaps work on her communication skills. "Are you stupid? Everything's political." "Yes, it is, Alice. Yes, it is." Hello, welcome to Model Kit Stuff and welcome to this week's Table Talk. It's your spot where we just pause and take stock of what's going on in the world of modelling, particularly the Model Kit Stuff channel. And if you're a new subscriber to the channel, a massive welcome to the Model Kit Stuff family. There is nearly 12,000 subscribers. As I record this Wednesday lunchtime, I am 33 subscribers away from 12,000. Doesn't seem that long ago we were celebrating 10. Well, there you go. Now, I'm not the only one that's about to hit another subscriber milestone. Good friend of the channel, Peter Oxley, achieved 10,000 subscribers last week or maybe back end of the week before. So if you missed his little celebratory video, go and catch it. It was quite funny. Went back over some of his highs and lows over his channel. Some interesting little clips in there. So well done, Peter, from Model Kit Stuff. Congratulations, and keep on putting those videos out because we love them. So, back to me. If you're a long-standing subscriber, welcome. I was asked this week what the difference was between being a subscriber and being a member. Well, it's a bit like going to McDonald's for one of their burgers, or buying some steak, going home and making yourself your own burger with the finest ingredients. One is quick and delivers a little bit, and the other one is amazing and all immersive, and I'll let you decide which one is which. When I look at our social group, this is it here. You can sort of see it. If I put it there, you'll see it better. This is the social group. So the banner has been chosen for February by one of the admins. It's one of the members' builds. It's actually Gary, one of my moderators as well. And on here it'll tell me that we've got 42 members. But actually that's not quite true, because that includes 3 admins who are not paying members. So they're not members of the YouTube channel. So they get some benefits, they don't have to pay, but they lose some benefits because they don't get the early access to videos and things that the members do. But that's about the only thing they miss. Bless them. But yeah, so it says 42 on here. Now the interesting thing about this is if I go onto my YouTube membership count, that also tells me I've got 42 members. Now, if 3 of those 42 are actually not paying members, it means that there is 3 paying members who have not joined the social group. So if you haven't joined the social group, send me an email and I will sort that out for you, and I will get you into the social group. You don't want to miss it, because during February I am giving away an airbrush. I can't say brand new because I have used it, but I've only used it I think twice, and I've replaced the jar and stuff like that. So I'm giving away, you know, 100 quid's worth of gear. It'll cost whoever wins it nothing. It'll even get posted to them, and there will be other stuff that we're going to do as well. So if you're paying for membership, absolutely you want to join the social group, even if you sit in the background and just watch what's going on. It's the main thing you're paying for. So really the difference between being a subscriber and a member is, being a subscriber you can see the content I put out, and if you've hit the bell at least, you don't get to miss anything that I put out. Whereas if you're a member, you get to share your builds, talk to other members who are sharing their builds, share tips, tricks, learn tips, tricks, asks for help, all that sort of stuff. There's a number of people building the Sherborne right now, and you know, they're sharing. I've done a couple of planks and they show a picture. Someone did something, they had a bit of a struggle, and we were able to help them out with that. You know, so all sorts of stuff, and it's a really nice community. Right, shall we go back to the start of the week and just catch up on what was going on last week? So if you missed any of it, you know to go back and catch what you're interested in. We actually started off the week on Sunday. We squeezed some extra videos in this week. So we started off on Sunday, 2nd of February. I really wanted to put it out on the 1st, but I try not to put 2 videos out on the same day, because for some reason YouTube gets its knickers in a twist and they sort of cancel it out, and people don't get notified of either video. So I've noticed that happening before. So I left it till the Sunday. So on the Sunday we had the Year of the Snake Gaahleri limited to 500 collector's edition, 2025 collector's edition, which effectively was this Mobius SP with 2 needles, which comes with some nice etching of a snake, and says Majestic Snake on the side, colour keyed with the red, which was the colour. So that was very nice. I like the siphon airbrushes. And this, which I've got to be honest, when I first saw this I thought, oh, it's another swallowtail, but actually it's not. This is the all new Mobius TG, and right now the only way you can get your hands on this is by buying that set. So it's certainly an upgrade on the swallowtail. First thing you notice when you hold it is that the trigger is much more comfortable. It's got a nice rounded curve to it. It's very, very nice, and it feels more positive. It does feel more positive. One of the things about the swallowtail is, though it's very comfortable and what have you, it felt a little bit loose and rattly, and that's improved on this. You've got a wider spray pattern, so this is great. I mean, I could spray the Sherborne's deck in one pass with this. That's how wide the spray pattern's going to be. And you've got an inline mac, which is a nice little touch as well. Quite stiff on mine. I've yet to have. I've not used this yet, so I've yet to have a bit of a play and see how we get on with it. My mac's a little bit stiff. I think just need to mess around with it a little bit, up and down a few times and loosen it up maybe. But it looks really nice. And on the 2nd we did a video showing those. This is a really nice airbrush and really comfortable, and I've been surprised at how easy it is with the swallowtails to actually do detail work on this if you wish to. So for some people this might be the way to go, but it's a very nice looking airbrush in its own right. So yeah, and I'm quite pleased to have that. So that is why I've got an airbrush to give away, basically. Okay, so that was Sunday. Then we, let's see, where were we? Oh, right, Monday we had that first impressions of the new Tamiya Grief. Really nice kit, really nice kit. Just a shame they haven't done the paint instructions properly. There's no list of colours. They show you some images of the exterior of the vehicle, but there's no interior paint instructions and there's no list of colours. And someone said, because Takom don't have a brand of paint themselves, they probably don't list a colour so that you can work that out for yourself from whichever brand of paint you want. No. They could just list the colours and say brown, red, German Panzer Blue. You know, they could list the colours. They don't have to list the brand. You're not thinking that one through, mate. Absolutely. They could list the colours. They just can't be bothered. There's a difference between commercial suicide and can't be bothered. And Takom, along with one or two other Chinese companies, are in the can't be bothered camp. Okay, anyway, saying that, the rest of the kit was absolutely stunning. Beautiful kit. Can't wait to build it. It's sort of challenge. I want to try and get to the SDKFZ 222 this year. But that might end up getting in the way of it. We will see. We will see. But yeah, really nice kit. So if you didn't see that review, you should do, and it was a good performing video actually. It's done just over 2,000 views since Monday, and it's Wednesday, so in 2.5 days, a bit less. So that's quite good going for a little kit review like that. So quite pleased with that. Then we had Tuesday, we had another extra video, which was the building of my mule. And there was more comments on that and more views on that than I expected. It did quite well. This is it here. Someone told me it was an old frog model. I've never knowingly built a frog model, but I could see how that could be the case. Apologies, I have to keep stopping because my kids are playing germ tag with me, and having got over me illnesses at Christmas, they decided to give me a sore throat and a cough. So yeah, a nice little kit, goes together quite well. I wouldn't say it. Yeah, if you want to build a model of this isn't the kit you go and buy. But for a mule, yeah, it'll be fine. So yeah, it's going to do everything I need to do this year, so I'm quite happy with it. So yeah, that was my mule done, and like I say, quite a few people watched that little half-an-hour quick build, and a number of people saying that they've got a mule, or they're gonna get a mule, or someone even said great idea, and I've thought about it. But yeah, I do it every year. Is I get a kit and just bash it out, and if I've not got one that I want to have as a mule, I'll go and buy one of those cheap ones from Lidl that you wouldn't want to seriously build anyway. So yeah. So that was that. Then Wednesday we had Sherborne Part 11, and I think that was gun ports and top rail off the top of my head. I've not rewatched it yet, but no doubt that'll get some love as well. And then last night you should have watched, all things being equal, Scharnhorst Part 23. No idea what we were doing in that. So yeah, that should be good. I'm hoping it was an hour long one. I think it was, and that gets you done for this week. So we should talk about what's been on the bench. Well, on the bench this week was the Junkers F13, is it? And I've basically spent Sunday on this. I was out Saturday, so I didn't do any modelling on Saturday. I've not had my modelling night as yet this week, so there will be more done on her during the course of the week. That'll be tomorrow night now. But yeah, this is where I'm up to. So you can see interior's painted. It's just ready for assembly really. I've got a little bit of detail painting to do. We've put the dials in the cockpit. I've got the yokes to put on, and then everything is ready to be assembled, I think. Yeah, then everything's ready for assemble. And one of the things that I have done is on the back wall, I noticed on the bulkhead on one of the reference pictures was a little clock. And you seem to get 2 dials in the decals for everything for the dash. So I've used one of them as a little clock where that clock should be. So that's turned out quite nicely. And I've used Tamiya enamels for the first time on the brown for the seats. And so far so good. Really nice actually. Yeah, so we've done that. So everything's sort of nearly ready. I've got some aluminium painting to do, and then we're ready to sort of get it all assembled up. I also built the engine, which is in here, and some of that's painted, some of it needs to be painted. So Thursday night, be finishing painting the engine parts and hopefully assembling, and we'll be finishing painting the seats, doing some aluminium, some of which is touch up, some of which is painting stuff in, and assembly is that. So if I'm really lucky, we might get to the 2 fuselage halves together by the end of Thursday night, if I'm really lucky. So that's what we've been doing on the bench this week. So yeah, there we go. So far, with the exception of the initial issue that we had, the fit's been good. It gets a bit tight when you've got paint on it, but you know, that's par for the course. Detail's good. Now, of course, what everyone's waiting for is me painting the outside of this. And you know, my members have been going, oh, I'm looking forward to seeing you painting the yellow curves. Well, what I'd say is you're not actually painting the yellow curve. You're painting the black curve, because you're going to paint the yellow first. Have I got, let me show you the paint scheme I'm doing, so those of you not familiar will get an understanding of what we're talking about. We are talking about that paint scheme there. So you're going to paint the yellow first, and then they're interested in how I go about tackling that curve. Well, actually, I think the hardest part is this bit here, the roof. Now, I have done this before. In fact, let me show you. So let me take you back to the very first build we did on the channel. It was this, which was a Junkers from the 1936 Olympics. So this is an Gaahleri kit with aftermarket decals to allow us to do the Olympiad decals. It's nice looking model actually. Came together really well. And I thought to myself, that was corrugated, and we painted it. And I know for a fact that we painted it by hand, because black is just so forgiving. So that is gloss black enamel. So again, enamel just so good for brush painting. So it all came out rather nice, but actually, now I've got this down to show you and to talk about it, I now recall that actually the curve on the nose that you can see there is actually on a flat bit. There's no corrugation there at all. So I've never painted a curve on corrugated surfaces. So I had it in my mind that, yeah, I could paint it on by hand. But of course, that's not what you want to see. You want to see me battle through and do it with an airbrush. So you know how to do it with an airbrush, or maybe how not to do it with an airbrush. We're yet to establish that fact. So I've got two techniques in mind for painting the black curve onto the Junkers, and I think I'm going to use both of them at the same time. So I do have a plan. There's lots of different ways you can mask a model. Some of them will give you a soft edge, some of them will give you a sharp edge. This needs a sharp edge, which doesn't help. It makes it worse, because if you're doing it a soft edge, you could do a sausage of blue tack, you know, and get the shape right, and then backfill it, mask it all off, and there you go. So that's definitely a way of doing it, but you're not going to get a hard edge. So we are going to do masking tape, I think, unless I have a ping moment before we actually get to doing that, because we've got a little bit of time yet. But yeah, I've got it in my mind what we're going to do, how we're going to do it, and I'm fairly sure it's a technique I use on masking wooden model ships when I'm airbrushing wooden model ships, for the same reason, to stop paint ingress. So you get paint ingress on wooden ships because of the wood grain quite often, and you know, uneven surfaces and so on. So this is a technique I sort of put together and developed for that. And I don't use it very often because I tend to hand paint my ships unless they're larger. But I think it'll work nicely on this. So yeah, I've got a plan, and that's all you need to know for now. Stash ads. Well, I have purchased 3 model kits this week. So Airfix was having a 20% off for members. There was 2 kits I was interested in. One I could get with my flying hours, so I decided to wait for now because I could. So I had 2. The more expensive one I can get for the same number of flying hours as the cheaper one. So I decided to buy the cheaper one, get the 20% off. That's due to be delivered this evening, so you'll probably see it on next week's stash ads. And we'll wait and see. I'm waiting to see what gets released by Airfix as surprises later in the year, to see if I can pick something newly released up with my Airfix flying hours. We will see. If it's brand new, they tend to bring it out with a code, which means you can't use the flying hours. But if it's a re-release, it might just work. So so that was one kit. I'll show you that next week. I bought another 2 kits. Some of you will remember we did not so long ago a 40th anniversary of the tripods. Do you remember that? Yeah, we did a little 40th anniversary special, and I'd bought a kit, a 3D printed kit of a tripod, and I was a bit unimpressed with it. It was missing some detail, and it was really poorly printed, and it had all lines on it, and you had to sand all the surfaces, and the detail was a bit lacking, and even where there was detail, it wasn't very bold. Anyway, to cut a long story short, I now realise that there is 2 people in the 3D printing of tripods game, and I've gone and bought a tripod from the really, really rubbish person doing it, and the other person doing it is a big fan. And on Facebook there is a group called I think it's, in fact I'm not going to think, I'm going to tell you what it's called. It is called the League of Free Men Tripods Society, which I am a member of. And one of the tripod fans has a 3D printer, and he's designed the tripods. So I've ordered 2 new tripod kits. One's a transporter, which is the standard one, and one is the Hunter, which is a bit taller and has the cannons on, and in the TV series is like a metallic red colour. So we need to think about what paints, what we're going to do with that. Metallic red, yeah, that could be interesting. So I've ordered those. So you order from this guy on Facebook, and you basically got to be in that group to even know he exists. So I've come upon him, luckily, ordered the 2. I don't know when I'll get them, so that's the 3 kits I've ordered. But I have had some other stuff delivered, and that's for another thing. So I've got paint masks for my Airfix Lysander. So if you saw James Mower's update on that in one of the videos, I think the latest video, there is a little link to order the face masks. So go and check that out if you've got a Lysander and you want to get the paint masks. And also go and check James's video out, because he's doing quite a tidy job of that one. I also got, this is for the next couple of tools really, are for, well, not really. These tools are definitely for wooden ship modelers. I got these on eBay, and they're from Artesina Latina, and they're photo etched rigging tools. And the idea is you pop them out of the photo etch and then shove them in a handle, such as one of these. This is a Galaxy Tools handle that comes with their riveting tools. I've got 3 of these, I think. And basically you put them in there, and then you can grab ropes when you're rigging and that sort of stuff. So yeah, really helpful. Where does that go now? I think it goes there. So hopefully really helpful. I've yet to use them or review them or anything like that, but another tool review coming up. And then this, I nearly said this is for people doing woodworking, but not anyone who's doing rigging. So if you're doing rigging of a plastic tall ship, this will be just as helpful. Basically, it's a stand for your threads. Let me show you. So there you go, that's it built up, and then you can flat pack it and put it back into your bag when you're done. But basically it allows you to run the thread through that loop so that you can use it without it getting tangled, and without that shooting across your bench as you tug more thread off it. So it's designed to go with sewing machines, but I think it was under £6 on eBay. Great little tool, as you can see, holds 3 spools. Yeah, I thought it's definitely worth it. So if you do rigging of ships in any type, even using spooled on easy line would work on here as well, then you might want to consider something like this. There's lots of different types about, some just do one. I thought having multiples might be handy, and it was cheaper than the ones that do just one. Right then, news. Okay, let's go a bit personal with news this week. So I do get asked about this from time to time, so let's talk about it. So earlier today I went for my hypertension review. So 10 years ago I collapsed and at the top of the stairs, which led to me tumbling down the stairs, and an ambulance was called because I had a nosebleed that they couldn't stop, and it turned out my blood pressure was through the roof. So that was with my now estranged wife, and My blood pressure's a lot better since I moved out. But for several years, I was sort of managing that. The upshot is that every year I have a hypertension review, and it's like a little mini MOT, and we talk about, what my weight's like, what my cholesterol's like, what my blood fats are like, blood sugars, and am I nearly diabetic yet, and all that sort of stuff. And as many of you know, increasingly over the last few years, I've been suffering from stomach trouble. And we seem to be in this world where if they can't diagnose anything, then they go, right, I think it's IBS. Sort of a catch-all for stomach issues that they can't seem to diagnose. And that's what happened to me. And it didn't help that at the time I got the diagnosis, we were in the pandemic, so I couldn't sit face to face with the doctor. But I felt a little bit fobbed off. And I was continuing to have problems with my bowels, and the doctors kept trying to treat my hernia. So I'd say, I've got these problems with my bowels, this is what's happening, and they'd go, right, let's increase your antacids. And I'm on the maximum amount of antacids, so they couldn't. So then they'd give me some other things that I can take with it and all that. And none of it was tackling the actual problem, and it wasn't making any difference, strangely. So I decided to take matters into my own hands. And about a year ago, I joined something called Zoe. So I did a little bit of research, and I wanted to find out who was the world's leading nutritional scientist, or gut scientist. Anyway, turns out that it's a chap called Tim Spector, and he's co-founder of a company called Zoe, whose mission is to get everyone to repair their gut microbiome for the sakes of their personal health. Now, you can find Zoe, if I remember, I will put a link under the channel. You can find Zoe on YouTube and watch all of their science for free on YouTube videos. They are fascinating. Find things that you're interested in. They have the most up-to-date scientific knowledge on it, and it is cut through so much of the nonsense that you hear from all sorts of other YouTube people, big companies, big food industry, and so on. So to cut a long story short, I've been on this journey where when you join, you do some tests. So you do a blood test, you wear a sugar monitor for 5 days, I think it was. You have to eat a biscuit and track how long it takes to go through your system, and send them samples, and they test what's in your microbiome, and they come back with a personalised app. So you have an app, and the app is personalised to you. So using AI, when you put foods into it, if you're having a meal or something, you put in the ingredients of the meal, and it'll tell you how that's going to affect your personal blood fat, blood sugar. So to give you an example of what I'm talking about, some people can eat porridge with milk, and that's okay for them. Blood fat, blood sugar, okay. Other people, and I'm one of them, if they eat porridge, it spikes the blood sugar. But if I then put some fruit with it, and some yogurt, and do it like an overnight oats rather than making it as porridge and get rid of the milk, then the sugar spike comes down and it's flat again. So you get to learn what you can and can't eat, and food combinations. And when I say can't eat, there's nothing you can't eat, but quite often by adding vegetables or something on there, you can balance and make it a better meal for you nutritionally. So I've been doing that, and it's a little bit of hard work at times filling the app in. It's a bit of a ball ache. But I've also been listening to the YouTube channel, and I've learned a lot. And my main takeaways are: stop eating ultra processed food. And I've largely done that. So less than 5% of what I eat in a week is ultra processed. So I might use a stir fry sauce rather than make my own sometimes if I need a quick meal. And that's ultra processed, but that'll be the only thing I have in that week that's processed. The only other thing I have 1 can of Guinness Zero on a Saturday night. That's my little treat. That's ultra processed. That's it. Everything else is whole foods that I cook. So I don't buy microwave meals, ready meals. I don't buy anything that's low fat. I don't buy anything that is manufactured. I only eat sourdough bread. So all these things that I've learned, I've got eating windows, times when I eat, to maximise not feeling hungry at different times of the day, not having cravings, all stuff I've learned. So I've come to do my hypertension review today. So a year on from joining Zoe and a year on from my last hypertension review. So I've gone from being just over the tipping point of pre-diabetic to completely normal again, and nowhere near being pre-diabetic. All good. My cholesterol has come back down to where it should be. I have lost weight, albeit not enough, but I have lost weight, and I haven't really done any exercise. So the upshot is, after many years of trying diets and what have you, Slimming World and all that sort of stuff, all I really needed to do was stop worrying about what I eat and concentrate on not how many calories I'm eating, but the quality of the calories. It's all to do with food quality, ultimately. Stop eating junk that's made in a factory, that's been ripped to shreds and then put back together and has got no nutritional value anymore. Stop thinking of eating as just chucking something down a black hole and just to make yourself feel full, and move away from big industry and move back to what your body's geared up to do, which is to absorb nutrients from fruit and vegetables. And it's made a big difference to my life. So not only have I got those official benefits from confirmed from the doctor today, but I sleep better. I don't have IBS anymore. My skin is better. My mood is better. I'm just better for not eating the way the food industry wants me to eat, and the supermarket and so on. So I now do it my way, and I write a list of what teas I'm going to eat every week, and then I write down all the ingredients that I need, and then I go to the far end of the supermarket where they don't want me to start, because supermarkets are designed for you to shop in a particular way. I've been on new store openings and know how it works. So I go to all the essentials that I need, which are at the back of the store, and then I skip several aisles in the middle, which are the non-essentials that I don't need, crisps and fizzy drinks and all that junk. And then I'm on the fresh counters for what I do need from the fresh, and I'm done, and I go to a farm shop for my fruit and vegetables. So yeah, what I'd say is, if like me you struggle with your weight and you struggle with your stomach, go and check out the Zoe YouTube, and you might just find it could change your life, because it's certainly changed mine. So there you go. I'm not being sponsored by them. They don't know I'm saying these things. All I'm saying is, I've had my hypertension review. Health-wise, I'm in a much better place than I was 12 months ago, and all I've done is change what I eat. I'm not dieting. I've not cut things out particularly. I mean, I have, but it's by choice. You know, I don't eat a pork pie every day, which I'd love to do, but we all know that's stupid. You know, a donut's never going to be healthy. But at the same time, I don't feel like I'm on a diet because I eat what I want to eat, and we have some really nice food. I enjoy cooking, that helps. So, you know, so yeah, there you go. That's my news. Right, what's coming up next week? Right, so Monday we've got a tool review, and then on Wednesday we've got a product review, and then on Friday it's part 2 of our Junkers that you were looking at earlier. On the bench, I will be on Scharnhorst week, so I'll be working on Scharnhorst all next week. So if you're a member, expect to see some update pictures of my progress on Scharnhorst during the course of the next 7 days or so. And then on Saturday next week, we'll be back again for another table talk. And I think I will be on Sherborne week again. That's come round quick. Brilliant. So finally, a big thank you to everyone supporting the channel. We're nearly at 12,000. I'm not going to do anything particular to celebrate 12,000 or anything like that, because I've got so much on this year. We've got the Floaty Things group build currently on. We've got the classic kit group build looming up on us soon, and then in September the members have got a group build as well, so there's lots and lots going on, and in there I'm expected to build some models, do some go on, do some holidays, do a couple of club show visits. Lots of things to do. So very last thing from me before I wish you well for the week is, if you're one of the people building Sherborne, I'd really love to see some pictures of your progress. So by all means, send me an email, and if you've got any questions or anything you're struggling with, email me modelkitstuff@gmail.com, and if you need any help, I'm happy to help. And if you are building the Sherborne, and you will soon be getting to the rigging, one thing you should definitely go and get is a pair of these. These are embroidery scissors. They are the best thing for your rigging. People will tell you all sorts of things. Side cutters, seam nippers. I've got them all. These are the very, very best. And in the members area, in the social group, I do give people a heads up of stuff that they need for the build before they get to it, so they've got an opportunity to buy it and not come to a halt when they watch the video. So thank you very much, everyone. Thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning in during the week. Thanks for all the nice comments and support. It's greatly appreciated, as you know. I've got some kits that I'm going to be selling. I've worked out that I can reduce my stash by just under half this year, by being really tough on myself and going, you know, do I really want to build that? And, you know, putting a bit of a tougher view on, and I'm going to get rid of about half my stash, and members are going to get first refusals of all of those. I've got some other bits and pieces to sell first, and then we will deal with that. So thank you very much. Have a fantastic week. You enjoy your modelling. Bye for now.